What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of 10K on the Bay, my journey to 10,000 live listings on eBay. Today I have a quick episode for you, and it's not clickbait. I think that this eBay glitch really is going to help you have a much better life. And what it is it's going to prevent you from comparing yourself to others. So I'm going to share my screen really quick so you guys can get an idea of what I'm looking at. Let me just go to my screen. Okay, so this is my store, and this is the Low Key Husky. This is my second of my stores, and the goal of this store is to get to 1,000 items and have about a 1/3 sell-through rate. And this is the sold listings. So if you were to go to the store, click on it, you can see the different items in my store. The Apple shoes are at almost 12 grand, which is pretty awesome. But you can see as you scroll through here, this is when you're looking at somebody's store. If you click on the item and then you scroll to see other items, and this is how you creep on somebody's store and see what they're selling. You scroll down to sold, right? It's in theory supposed to give you a 90-day snapshot of what they've sold, right? So a lot of people are saying, oh, you don't sell that many items. Now I want to show you a glitch, which is very interesting. If you refresh the page, it says 232 listings. 232. When you refresh it, depending on when you refresh it, it will change to sometimes a 60-day. So here we have about 192 results in my sold. So this is, I'm not sure why this changes, but it does. Like whenever I'm doing the research for different stores, sometimes it doesn't accurately depict what they're actually selling, which gives you an idea of why you shouldn't be comparing yourself based on other people's results that you don't even know, because eBay doesn't even know. It says 192. If we refresh it, it might say something different, like, let's see if it'll switch back to something different. Okay, now it's stuck on 192, which is extremely, oh, now it's back to 232. You can see how deceiving this is. So like when you're researching people's stores, you can sort of look at what they're selling. Like I sell a lot of jeans, I sell a lot of clothing, and I sell some hard goods. But my point is, you can't really compare yourself to others because you don't even know. So it says either 232 or 192. But both of those numbers are not even close to my actual 90 days totals. So this is my actual 90-day totals from the last 90 days. And it's 363 items. So I sold 363 items. eBay says between 232 and 190. So you really have no idea what people's volumes are. Also, I sell a lot of multi-quantity listings to save time. So one listing, sell multiple quantities of it. So you really have no idea what my sales volume is unless you're me. So you can just, I think people should just stop worrying about other people and focus on your own store, because you really have no idea what people's volume is. Like this Low Key Husky store will close in on 20 grand coming up pretty soon. Looks like I got a couple of offers coming in. And an offer, a message, which is great. But again, try to just focus on yourself and improve what's going on. And if you like, definitely surround yourself with a couple of people who might be willing to share what they're actually going through. And as you can see, with my sales are starting to pick up now because I think we're going into a busier time. But I want to share something with you guys, which is this, the growth tab. Let me pull up the chat really quick so that I can, I'm going to go to the chat page so I can see what you guys are talking about. What's going on, guys? Let me just check the chat. But I just think it's important not to compare yourself to other people when you don't even really know what they're actually selling. Yvonne Flipping Easy says that Deb is probably pinching pesos screenshots for sold, and it's never actually all the solds. That makes sense. So just to review that really quick before I get into the growth tab, when you guys go to somebody's sold, mine says 232. If you refresh the page, depending on what time of the day or what eBay feels like, it's going to change. So it's 232 or 192, depending on when you actually access the page. And then my actual sales is, for the last 90 days, is 363 items. So it's total, it's like barely half of what I actually sold. So it just depends on, you know, just don't compare yourself to others because it's not accurate. You're never gonna know. So I want to now go to the growth tab and show you guys something interesting. So if you go into your eBay, you can click on this growth tab, which is in beta. And I'll show you guys something as an example. I'm going to ignore all this advice from eBay on these items because I know that their pricing suggestions are not correct. But let's go to sourcing guidance. Let's go to my favorite category to sell in, which is men's boots. I love men's boots. I don't necessarily live in an area that's perfect to sell them, but let's take a look at the seasonality. So for all the people who are worried about slow sales right now, take a look at this graph. If you were to sell a lot of boots or clothing, right, you can see just how seasonal they really are. I have a ton of boots that haven't sold in a long time. And when I really get into it, I'm buying as many as I can right now because look at the trend, right? And not only are they going to sell faster, but they're going to command a higher premium on price as we get closer to fourth quarter. And even in first quarter looks pretty decent for boots. You can see the new and used is very similar. Let's go to new since I like to sell new the most. You can see most of the boots are selling for $20 to $100, but there's a really healthy 31% selling between $100 and $500, which is amazing. So if you're in that bucket of selling, that's where I like to be with boots. You can see there's a nice healthy market, whereas if let's click used, you can see the majority of them are in the $20 to $100 range. So it looks like people definitely like to buy brand new boots, especially when it comes to gift season. You can see an even more dramatic curve right here, and then very few high-end used boots. So if you're in the high-end used boots market, it's probably great because it's not that competitive, but there really is a small market compared to this mid-range. And then if you're in the sub 20, or I consider it's a junk category, especially for boots, under $20 boots, it's pretty junky, then you're not going to have a large market share. So down here, you can see top opportunities. And I think this is tremendous because you can see what you, in theory, you're supposed to be buying, what's searched a lot: work and safety, hiking, trail, ankle boots, Western, military. I'm surprised that hiking and trail boots are that high. But again, I guess I don't know much about boots after I take a look at what eBay is recommending. Now this is in beta, so take this with a grain of salt. We don't know how accurate this is because it's based on a lot of different factors. Make sure that you get an idea and do the research on what we're looking at. But it just gives you an idea of what people are searching for. Work and safety boots, pretty obvious, but I don't know a single work and safety boot brand. Thanks very much for Wade's Venture sending me a super chat of 10 bucks. He's going to be on my show tomorrow. We're going to be talking about storage auctions. I've had a lot of questions about how to get started, what to do. I personally have never done a storage auction, so I'm glad that Wade will be on our show tomorrow to give us an idea. Brand, we're looking at Red Wing, Keen, Danner. This brand, I don't know how to pronounce it, but Bonafide Hustler sells a lot of these. It depends on where you live. I actually did not know Merrill made boots. Timberland you would think would be higher, but they're number 9 on this list. And you can scroll down and take a look at different styles, different brands, different colors, materials, age group, and find out what's selling well, what's being searched. And I also want to point out that I think this has something to do with supply as well. So maybe there's a large growth opportunity if there's not a lot in that category. But there's also there's a lot of searches, but not very many items in the category. For me, that would mean what a good growth score was. So thanks, Sci-Fi is saying this is pronounced Lucchese. Lucchese, sounds great. Lucchese. So these are great brands. Take a look here. So this is in the growth tab if you have an eBay store. If you don't have an eBay store, then you're not taking eBay seriously. You need to have one so you can start to use all these tools and level up. Don't be cheap. And actually, it's not even cheap. Don't be dumb. If you want to actually take eBay seriously, you save money when you get a store. If you don't have 250 items in your store, you're probably not doing that well on eBay unless you sell really high-end stuff. So color, brown, black. I would guess black would be the highest for boots, but you never know. Depending on work, maybe brown is higher, especially for a lot of work boots. Timberlands, they're all brown or beige or tan. Multicolor. I like to stick to the classic colors. Yeah, this is the growth tab. And then down here, we're going to click on material, leather, suede, synthetic, rubber, snakeskin, nylon. I didn't even know they made nylon boots. That's interesting. So yeah, you can go in here and take a look at what's selling, what people are searching for. Boots is a category that I personally love because I love boots. So it's nice selling things that you actually enjoy. Take a look at it. And then just again, I'm going to hop off, guys, because I didn't want to do too long of a video today. I just wanted to show that please don't compare yourself to others. It's going to make you really miserable because you really have no idea. So, here you can say it's shifting between, now it's saying 0 listings sold for my store. So you really have no idea what people are selling. You can kind of guess maybe by their feedback. So I've had 212 feedback in the last 6 months, which tells you nothing. You have no idea what I'm doing volume-wise by my store. You can only guess. When you do view items and then you scroll down to sold, this is where I want to show you guys. When you refresh this page, the 192 number will change. And it's just amazing to me because I've been using this tool to gauge how good of sellers people are, but it doesn't make sense because it changes. So here it went from literally 192 to 232, which is a huge difference. And then when we look at my actual sales for the last 90 days, let's see. Is this 90 days? This isn't 90 days. Let's go back to 90 days because that's when the completed supposedly goes back to. Let's see, May, June, July. You can scroll down. 177. This is, see, none of these numbers match up. So I really have no idea what it is. Don't compare yourself to others. I just want you guys to make sure you focus on what you're doing and do continuous growth. If you're still in the chat, please hit the like button on your way out. But just want to make sure you guys stay focused on what you're doing. Share ideas with people who are close to you. The mastermind calls that I'm doing are the most popular ones because you can see people steadily growing. In my mastermind groups, which I'm going to promote for once, is on patreon.com/10K on the Bay. If you want to join one, all the people in the groups make progress every single week, or I'll give you your money back. Like, there's no point in you being in the group if you don't grow every single week. So I'm looking for about 100 people. It's probably 80% full. So I will be closing my mastermind group pretty soon. And then I'll just be working on my 10K store. There's lots of cool updates coming. A lot of you know I have streamlined a lot of my processes. I have a couple more minutes, so if you guys want to do some Q&A, I'll answer some questions. But again, even the eBay sold section changes, which means it's no longer going to be a useful tool for me engaging somebody's sell-through rate. You can email me for help, always for free. It's 10konthebay@gmail.com. It might take me a while to respond, but I will get back to you. I get most of the questions I get are, what should I price this item for? Why am I not having any sales? How do I hire someone? Those are the common questions. So I did put up an ad on Craigslist today. So I'm going to be hiring again. And the ad is in my Patreon. So if you guys want to check it out, it's a little bit more premium content. Yes, Stephen B., the Apple shoes are at 11.7. I really do not want to set a record for the highest unpaid item. So I don't know. There's really not anybody under 100 feedback that's bidding right now. There's one person that's a famous rapper, but I don't know. You never know if it's going to be legit or not. Hopefully it'll get some more traction as the week goes on. I'm going to try a Facebook ad and promote it through Instagram towards the end of the week to see if it'll go a little bit viral. It's a little bit silly promoting it, in my opinion, because you're just attracting the wrong kind of people. There's going to be a lot of trolls. I'm sure there's trolls they're like frothing at the mouth right now, waiting to bid $1 million and then not pay. So it's going to be interesting. How close to the original price do you price your new with tags? So if I'm listing Supreme or a Hypebeast brand, as an example, like I'll do 500, 600, 1,000%. So, if I buy, as an example, let's say I wait in line for Domebecker 3 Jordans, right? And I pay $200 for them. I'm probably not going to list them for less than 600 on retail, right? If I go to Target and I buy an ugly Merona sweater, right? And it's $10 retail and I buy it for $1, I'm probably going to list it for 99 cents free shipping because no one's going to buy it because no one cares about that brand. So you can't even get 10% of retail for brands that suck. You might not even be able to sell it at 99 cents free shipping because of the low desirability of the item. So it depends. That's a really hard question to answer on the retail. Sometimes my highest flip was like 10,000% of retail. So it just depends on what you're selling. As a generic rule, if you're looking for generic advice that will only apply generically, I like to sell things 25% off retail and buy them for 75 to 90% off. But that doesn't apply to every brand. The better the brand, the closer it is to retail. Like if you guys know on a Rolex, I think the standard markup is 10%. So you're not going to get larger than a 10% discount, which means if you go on to eBay and you look at the Rolex pricing, it's like 15% below retail. It's pretty tight. It's pretty close. But then if you look at crappy brands, you'll see them for 90% off, free shipping, and they don't sell. So how long have I been selling on eBay? So Team Tycoons is in the chat. This is an awesome question. How long have I been selling on eBay? I've done just over $1 million on eBay, but I still don't have any credentials to teach people, and I'm not teaching people. I'm just sharing my journey. So I don't even, the qualification is to be able to teach somebody. I don't know what that even means. I think the best way to learn something is to share what you're doing. So for me, I've leveled up quite a bit. I'm new to thrifting, but I would say that I'm already making more than a full-time income on eBay, and that's not even my main source of income. So I actually think it's really easy to sell on eBay. Now, provided you're healthy and you have a little bit of money to go and buy stuff and you actually put in the work, I think you can do it. Like, there's a lot of people who who don't have other options, and this is the only thing they do. And I've been talking to multiple sellers that do 6 figures a month, and they don't feel qualified to teach. So you would think someone who does $100,000 a month profit would be qualified to teach, but they don't feel like they're qualified to teach either. So it's important to have that. Wendy, I'm rehiring people, and I'm starting with just processes rather than start to finish. I'm separating everything. So the first person I hire will be a photographer only. I have 4 people who can list start to finish, but I think it's cheaper to hire for a specific thing. And then also there's a lot less errors. So the photographer listing I just put up, they're just doing 6 tasks over and over again. And I think I'll be able to train them in under 2 hours. So do I ever find anything I want to just keep and don't sell? No. The only thing that I will not sell is gifts. So if somebody gives me something, I'm never going to sell it. I think it's bad juju. What do you guys think? Do you guys keep things? Like even the Apple shoes, I was going to keep them for less than $2,500. Otherwise, I'm going to launch them. I like them because they're one of a kind rare. I'm a little bit of a sneakerhead, but I definitely sell. Do I play sports? I play basketball. There's talks about a reseller basketball game, which I think would be very fun. I'd love to team up with like Luke or Endless Entrepreneurs or do some co-ed basketball. I think that would be fun. Let's see. So Team Tycoons is asking what the Mastermind group is about. Basically, I pair people together and you share progress each week. So for example, there's a 7-figure mastermind group forming right now, right? Why would I be qualified to run that group? I'm not teaching those. What could I teach people that are already making 7 figures on eBay? I'm just bringing them together, right? They don't need help. They just want to share ideas with each other so that they can actually grow. It's not easy to find 7 other 7-figure sellers on eBay. That's the whole point of this mastermind thing. You want to find like-minded people with a similar goal, move that direction, and you should be able to crush it. But if you just, most people who are doing really well don't know that many people. Like, this is a really interesting lesson I'm going to share with you guys. I sold Lexus for 4 years, and I met some of the richest people that I've ever seen, multiple million. And I've also done Facebook marketing, and this is how it works. The less money you have, the more friends you have on social media. When you start getting, this is the friends, right? When you start getting people who are worth $3, $4, $5, $6 million, the amount of people they associate with is like 10, 20, 30 people that they're actually friends with, and they don't associate with everybody else. They just block everything out. So I think that's super important. Let's see. Do I let them getting back into it? I'm also thinking about, as I develop a men's clothing brand, I am going to make some tutorial videos. So another tip for you guys who want to do YouTube or social media, if your content is evergreen, meaning like the videos that make me the most money and the videos that will make you the most money are generally things like how to ship a pair of shoes, right? That's very useful. People are going to go online, look at it, watch that video over and over again forever. No matter how long the video is up, it will probably generate you some income, right? So I would like to do a men's clothing store, and I'd like to explain like how to get a good fit for men's clothing for your shirt. What are you supposed to measure? I'm going to make all those videos. So because I'm going to make those videos, I need to be in better shape, because that's your brand, right? If I'm going to talk about men's style, I better look like a man that people want to look like. I dress properly, look proper, the proper look for whatever. So let's see. I am teaching people to be one with the force. That's true. Let's see here. Oh, that's interesting. Clearing Cutter for Clarity says you want 20 to 30% of your YouTube content to be evergreen. That sounds like one of those 70% of statistics that's made up, but it makes sense. Like you want to, entertain people. You want to be inspirational. You want to touch with your audience, and then you also want to provide content that's actually useful. This is why I don't do shout outs, because I think it's almost disrespectful to your audience to spend 20 minutes shouting out people, because they're watching you hopefully to get some nuggets. I don't know what you guys think. Do you think shout outs are important? I don't shout people out generally. Yeah, I just think it's kind of a lot to do that. Let's see. You can get 50 free listings. Guys, I don't really worry about free listings, because I want to pay for more listings. I want to have, you can't sell an item that's not listed. So I don't know why you wouldn't want to pay the 10 cents to sell something that you're going to make $10 on. That's a pretty low investment. You're paying 10 cents for eBay to find you a customer. That's not expensive. Like, what can you get for 10 cents? Do I have a wife or kids? Not yet, but I'm working on getting married. That'll be the goal for this year, is to get a ring. I do think it's like, today I've been grilling one of these top sellers, a 7-figure guy, right? And I asked him, what does your day consist of? You know what he said? I want you guys to guess something that he said. I was like, what do you do during the day? And I want you to guess what this 7-figure eBay seller, this guy does more than $3,000 a day on eBay. What do you think he said? What do you think he said he does? Or, trick question, what he doesn't do that has helped him become $1 million seller on eBay. So what do you guys think is the thing that he did or doesn't do, the one thing that he thinks contributes to his success? Kind of interesting. Oh, that's true, Charles. If you keep the shoutouts to a minimum, that's probably a great thing. So maybe I will say your name if I ask a question. And Banner said he is probably always working. That's true. He gets up early. He manages his time. He reads a book. These are all really good things. But guess what? I asked him why he's so successful, and he told me he watches 0 TV. So I don't know what you guys think. Wow, M. Banner actually guessed it. You should email me and I'll send you something, because that was a really good guess. And it's true. He just doesn't watch any TV. He said the reason why he's successful and other people are not is that he doesn't watch TV, and he spends 5 to 6 hours a day on eBay, and that's the only thing he's doing. He's not multitasking. There's no Instagram. There's no YouTube in the background. There's not even music in the background. It's just straight 5 to 6 hours of eBay only. And he's running right at $1 million, $1 to $2 million revenue a year. I don't know his net, but it's a lot. And he contributes that to 5 to 6 hours of uninterrupted work a day, which is pretty fantastic. And he is a runner. I don't like running. Anything over 6 reps is cardio for me. So yeah, I only like lifting weights and basketball. Not even Shark Tank. Like, so as much as I like you guys watching my channel, you should probably keep it to a minimum. You know, once you get the hang of eBay, I would not mind if you guys stopped watching me and just focused on your eBay business and just emailed me, I might try that in my Patreon group. I might tell people, hey, look, you know what, for the next week, don't watch anything, don't listen to any music, just focus on eBay and your family and working out, eating healthy, and sleeping. Sleep as much as possible, eat healthy. Don't watch any TV or YouTube. Even though, like, you know, if I was in it for the money, I would say watch every single one of my videos, click on every single ad, buy every single affiliate link, and join my mastermind group at the highest level and buy me lunch. But I mean, truthfully, you should probably just work on your own business. Do what this video says and don't focus on other people, just focus on yourself. Yes, I consider YouTube videos TV, in my opinion. There's some videos that are good. I'm trying to make my videos as valuable as possible, but I 100% consider it TV. You actually do not need to watch any more YouTube. So quality stuff at reasonable prices, and get rid of stuff that's not selling and buy more of the stuff that's selling. That's it. You don't need to watch any more YouTube videos. You'll be perfectly successful on eBay. And if you get 1 or 2 eBay friends that you can talk to about eBay, then you won't drive your family bonkers by talking about eBay all day. My girlfriend does not care about eBay anymore. She does not care at all. When I hang out with her, I'm going to hang out with her in an hour. I'm not going to talk about eBay at all. I'm not going to bring up anything, not even the fact that the Apple shoes could pay for her wedding ring. Not even going to bring that up until somebody actually pays. And it's delivered and the return policy has expired. I don't count chickens before they're chickens. Yep. Let's see. Quality over quantity in YouTube. That's true. Let's see. There's a magic thing. He says he spends 5 to 6 hours working. The key word is working. And he does 100 listings in 3 hours. Guys, that's awesome. That means he bangs out 100 photographs and measurements in 2 hours and spends 1 hour listing it. 3 hours, 100 listings. Boom. So like, there's no room in there. Consider this, like if you're gonna do a PR or personal best, right? Let's say you're gonna run a mile as fast as you can, right? You probably wouldn't check Instagram while you're racing as fast as you can, right? You probably wouldn't be listening to music. You probably wouldn't be watching YouTube in the background. You'd probably just be running as fast as you can. So if you're trying to do that with your business, you probably shouldn't have any distractions. Let's see here. Clearing Clutter for Clarity says she has a tip for me for my eBay listing. Promote it on social media in different languages. That's a good idea, especially for, like, as an example, right now I have a tapestry. It's an Indian tapestry, right? I've actually never shipped anything to India, but I could run it in social media in, what's the language that Indian people speak? Not sure, but that language I could run it in, and maybe I could do some advertising there and ship it all the way to India. What kind of clothes sell the best? The clothes that sell the best are the ones that people want at a good price. So sorry for the sarcastic answer, but that really is like, go on to spend your whole night in bed looking at what's selling on eBay and then go buy that. Yes, if you guys want to like the video and go list, go list. Hindi, yeah, Hindi. That's really obvious. So yeah, if I were to run an Instagram ad in Hindi, I could probably find some traffic for my Indian tapestry. Let's see. Yes, getting used to absolute silence is so weird in an information-driven world. My girlfriend's really, really, really good at that. She's super zen. She doesn't have any notifications turned on. If you message her, it'll take her 5 hours to respond. She's at peace. She walks to work. She has a little meditation spot where she hangs out for a minute, calms herself, goes into work, doesn't give a shit about other people. That's why she's so happy. Yes, we gotta really work on that. Let's see. Mega, what's up? Yeah, isn't it funny? Like at the end of my mastermind calls, like my day is kind of busy, so sometimes I stack mastermind calls. And it's funny because at the end of the video, someone will always pop in from the next video, and I'm always like, dude, just hang out. There's no issue. We're all in the same family, but it's just funny. They always pop off. Brian, this is basically the glitch is when you go to the sold listings in eBay and you click sold, if you refresh the page, the number of sold items will change. and I'm not sure what it's changing from. Like as an example, on my store, it says 232 listings, 233 listings, or 113 or whatever. It's just not the actual number of items I sold, and the actual number of items I sold is 300 something. So none of those numbers are accurate. Like there's no, you could look at what my sold section is, but it's not accurate as far as how many items I've sold. It's only accurate as to what items I did sell that are showing. It's kind of a weird, it's a very weird glitch. Let's see. What's another glitch? Another glitch is that sometimes when you post things, you can't find it, right? I put the Apple shoes on my Instagram, right? And I would say probably 200 people could not find the listing, right, at all. No matter how they search it, they just can't find it, right? So I don't think that that's, like, there's no eBay scandal or they're blacking listings out. I don't believe any of that. I just think it takes a while for stuff to index. Recently, I asked people to look at it and everyone could find it. It just took a couple of days to index onto the site. So I don't believe when you put something right on the eBay, everybody on eBay can see it. I don't think that that's even possible with 1 billion listings on eBay. It takes a while for servers and images and all that stuff to show up. Brittany is saying maybe it only tracks items that got feedback as sold. That might be possible. I don't know. It still doesn't match on mine, but what's up, Cody? You have some vids that are doing well with views. What do you suggest I do on the back to get most of them? So guys, if you want to monetize YouTube videos, what I suggest is you put all the information that's useful in the front of the video. So like if you want to talk about, like for this video, I'm hanging out with you guys right now answering questions, but other people who don't care, they can just get the information from the beginning of the video, and I would put a commercial in after the useful stuff. So like the people who actually like you will hang out, watch that commercial, and then they will hang out with you for Q&A. But the people who are busy and they just need something to help their eBay store, they'll absorb it and then they'll go back to work. Flat lay works well for plenty of people, so does mannequin. It doesn't matter. I don't understand why solds for good till canceled don't show up in search. That's a good question. Some of my items did show up, so maybe it's showed up because it was the last good till canceled that sold. I don't know. I know multiple quantity is a little bit wonky. You raised your first child with no TV. That's amazing. That's a really, that's very, very, very impressive. You should tag me on Instagram. I will retag that. That's freaking amazing. Because there's so many iPad children here in the Bay Area. Like parents are way too busy because it's so hard to live here, that their kids just get an iPad and they're just so tired from working 80 hours a week that they're just, you know, vegetables at the end of the day. And I see that, like even on last night's call, everyone is so motivated, right? And you can see it in people's eyes. Everyone is tired, just working so hard. Are all the time frames the same? I don't think so. I think eBay's servers are everywhere worldwide, so things show up at different times. Is eBay slow right now because of the school year? I showed that graph, right? It looks like this. This is where we're at. We're at the very end of the bottom curve for clothing. We're right here and it's starting to go up. But this part of it for clothing is actually first quarter for pre-owned. If you guys are selling used clothing, it looks like first quarter is busier than fourth quarter. So it just depends. I don't know. It depends on your category. Well, no, I'm saying, Brian, that works on the eBay app for me. I'm saying the glitch is with other people researching other people's stores. That's why I said that this glitch can save your life, because it will hopefully prevent you from comparing yourself to others and just working on yourself. Susan didn't have TV growing up. That's fantastic. I wish I didn't have TV growing up. I was one of those kids where my parents worked, so I was at home with the TV all day. Yeah, Anya just brings us up. There's incorrect sold listings I have the reseller Smackdown video where we, you know, critique other people's stores, and in that show, the sold listings were not accurate. So I'm not going to do that anymore in the reseller Smackdown. We're just going to look at people's stores and see how they're doing, because their solds doesn't even matter. It's not accurate. You had 4 channels on TV when you were young. Wow. Oh, that was a glitch that you noticed, Brian. Very good. Let's see. You didn't have a TV for your family until 9/11 happened? Wow. That's great. I think TV is kind of a life suck. Like, you know, I like to make content, and since I've been making content, I don't have a lot of time to consume content. So there's a couple of people that I follow now, but my time is becoming more and more valuable. And this is the tip I'm going to leave on. So I've been in a really positive mood lately because I feel like I barely have enough time for the people that I love and care about. There's audience members, there's people in the eBay community that I really, really care about. I barely have time to help them, right? People who want to grow their store, people who are disabled and they don't have any other way of making money, people who are making millions of dollars and just they want more time with their family, whatever. All these people, I barely have enough time to help the people I care about and my family. So I don't have any time definitely for other people, right? So if you're a hater crab, I'm not going to hang out with you. I just want to hang out with the other helpful crabs. And I can't think of any other, a better term than that, other than there are crabs, there's helper crabs, and then there's hater crabs. And so I'm just going to hang out with the helpful crabs. There's lots of crabs everywhere, but I'm just going to hang out with the people that like to help each other. And that's the kind of community that I want to be in. And I am going to bounce now, guys. Oh, Rip City Seller. Last question I'm going to answer. I found the Apple shoes at Goodwill. I paid 50 cents for them. They were going to throw them away. So that should be a pretty decent flip, even if I just get the 2,500 that I'm looking for. All right, guys. Have a great one. Have a great week. I'll see you tomorrow with the Storage Auction Show. Like and subscribe. Peace out.